This is my kind of game, folks. The first time you get to control a character is right in the heat of combat. Speaking of combat, see this thing on your back? That's your divine instrument, this flaming mirror or whatever. Pretty standard stuff here. You get the Y button to attack, B button to jump, and you can even attack midair. Keep an eye on your health. Every time you get attacked, that drops, and if it hits 0, you die. It is game over. Pretty standard stuff, but then again, this is a tutorial. So, hit this guy a couple times. Hit enemies enough they get stunned, which means you can do bonus damage with every attack. So now he's down. Go attack his buddy. And he is gone. When enemies are defeated, they drop treasure. Get a little yen, the currency of this game, as well as a rice ball, which will restore 1 unit of health if we happen to get hurt in that fight. And booyah, we are done. We get graded based on how well we did. I got all cherry trees, which means I did perfectly. Wow! Good, great, outstanding, amazing! All I did was press Y. Unless my eyes are playing tricks on me, you're the spitting image of Amy. Arr! Well, now what? Why is it so dark all of a sudden? Maybe because the plot's actually beginning to start? I got a really, really bad feeling about this, Fox. If Amy were here, she'd climb up to the highest platform. Pause. And call the sun back with a swish swish of her tail. Aha! See what the little bug is talking about here? Notice the little pup's tail looks like the tip of a paintbrush. Well, that's because that has to do with the main mechanic that separates Okami and Okamiden from other action-adventure games. This is the Celestial Brush. Basically, what this thing does is it allows you to draw on the world around you. And depending on what you draw where, you can actually perform miracles using your godly powers. You can do things like cut a boulder in half, bloom trees into flowers, or what they're talking about here, you can actually draw the sun into the sky. Now, there are 2 main innovations this game has over the last one. Number 1, if your line doesn't do exactly what you want it to, you can actually press the B button to erase the mistake. And the other main innovation it has over the last game in the series is that it is much, much, much easier to draw simple circles. Anybody who played the last game knows what I'm talking about here. See, watch this. You would never get away with something that sloppy in the last game, but here... Metal Gear! I'm in a painting! Are you Amy's kid or something? How could you keep something like that from me? That's the kind of stuff you're supposed to tell me first. A little nosy, aren't you, Isun? Only the great sun goddess herself can use sunrise at will. Wait, hold on. If Amy is your mom, then who did she... not that it's any of my business. Yeah, as long as she didn't hook up with Waka, I think I'll be okay with this. I was your mother's celestial envoy, and a darn good one, too. Yeah, a celestial envoy is a pretty important person. It's nothing to yawn at, I'll have you know. That aloof attitude. You're Amy's kid, alright. Oh, I love Isun. Everybody loves Isun. Like I said before, I like to think of Amy as like a blank sheet of paper that he drew on to give her personality. If that makes any sense. He's saying Miss Sakuya. Yes, right off the bat we have a name and a goal, a place we need to get to. So we're gonna go to Kamiki Village, like he's saying here, and find this Miss Sakuya. But before we do that, I have to talk about something. Look down here, this is the other thing that separates your Celestial Brush from the last game's one. See these? These are your ink pots. Every time you use the Celestial Brush technique, you lose half a pot. When you run out of ink, you are unable to use your divine instrument. You lose your stripes and you can't use any more Celestial Brush techniques. And unlike the last game where your ink actually regenerated over time, because Chibi is not as powerful as Ami, he has to actually collect ink bottles around the world to refill it. Some people may see this as a limitation, and speaking of limitations, you got a time limit on your brush this time. You can only use it for so long at any given time. Many people would think this sucks and it just hinders you for no reason, but as a balancing tool, I see why they did this. You see, unlike the last game where you just won every boss battle by spamming time slow and power slash, you actually have to put some thought into how you use the brush this time around. So we get the sunrise scroll explaining the power that we just got, and we're going to move right along into the world. Follow the crazy taxi arrow, as somebody likes to call it, and we see that little girl again, Ayame, who's still swaying back and forth for whatever reason. Ooh, a white puppy, he's so cute. Hey, that's kind of interesting. She can't see our stripes. Now this is where the cleverness of the game's name actually comes into play. See, I'll tell you this. Okami, based on how you read it in Japanese, can actually mean either great god or wolf. Japan's full of this kind of punny wordplay, so just be aware. So now that that cutscene's over, we're moving right... Oh, treasure chest. Treasure chest! Ah, spirit ink. Refills 3 ink pots. So, you'll notice right off the bat here, we're already hitting area portals. Usually these separate larger areas from each other, but here they kind of separate the normal areas into chunks. Kind of breaks the illusion of a cohesive world, but the fact that they actually managed to fit this kind of art style onto a system this small is a testament in itself, you know? I'll put up with the fact that they only had... You know, it figures that nobody would figure out how to maximize the DS's capabilities until half a month before the end of the system's life cycle, but, oh, whatever. If it minimizes pressure on the hardware, I'll put up with it. And we find an ink bottle. Get used to seeing these things a lot, because like I said before, they are the only way you restore ink without using an item. We talk to this guy. He will actually give you your first side quest in this game. Basically, the place we're in right now, Yakushi Village, it's pretty barren, there's nobody living here. So, he gives us a map, and he's entrusting a little dog with the act of getting people to move to his village. Makes sense to me. So we follow the arrow, it's pointing this way. We need to move our butts to go see Sakuya. Great, let's do it. But I think we may have forgotten to do something in Yakushi Village. Well, damn, Isun, I didn't know that. The arrow was pointing this way after all. Let's head back. Now you may be thinking to yourself, why would we want to make people move here? Well, that's because Yakushi Village is actually going to become very important to you later on. It's going to be giving you most of your side quests, and also these 2 spots right here. This place, these 2 plateaus are going to become very, very, very important later on. Depending on how you play, the left one may be more important than the right, but they still both serve incredible purposes. We'll get back to those later, though. Just remember that they're there. For now, we head up here. And that is one impressive mustache. I haven't seen facial hair that profound since Mr. Mucho Mustachio from Ninja Town. $5 if you got that reference. How curious. I guess this old man can't see your stripes either. We already established this, Isun. Old man, do you know who I am, Sonny? I'm Dr. Redbeard, the founder of Yakushi Village. I provide medicinal herbs to all who need them, and I ain't no quack either, you hear? Yeah, I'm sure anybody who keeps a giant gourd on the top of their house is perfectly sane enough to mix my life-saving medicine for me. Also, now, right here what they're talking about, this is an origin mirror. Basically, it's the save point of this world. Will preserve your memories for all time. So yeah, it's a save point. Yeah, he even says it. You get it. Listen to old Isun's advice, save as often as you can. Better safe than sorry. It'll come in handy when you need to undo a mistake or two. Okay, this is actually kind of a cool feature. If we pause here for a second, we go over to the right side of the menu, we'll actually find an option called Redo. This is basically like a reset. It allows you to go back to the last save point you saved at without having to turn off your system and waste power. Kind of a cool feature if you really majorly screw up, so... Now that we're done saving, we'll move right along. Ah, this is some nice music, isn't it? Kind of makes me just want to meditate for a little while. Nice and relaxing. So hopefully the arrow's going to help us move along the plot this time. Jump down and you won't be able to go back. For now, anyway. Head out? Yes! Let's get this party started already. Let's get it started. I'm not going to sing. No bueno. Nobody should ever have to listen to me sing. Ooh, I don't like the looks of those clouds. We've stumbled upon a pretty gloomy looking field here. Shinshu field, to be exact. Hey now, I don't like the looks of the... I just said that, Isun. Okay, what he's talking about here. He's basically explaining your mini-map at the bottom of the screen. What this does is it shows you major landmarks that are in the area you're in. It shows you where this merchant's hut is, but it's closed right now, conveniently. There's a giant tree, we'll find out what that does later, and it'll also show you the location of the next save point. Circle with an X through it. However, if you're ever lost and you don't know what to do, just look for the little red circle right here. That will always point you in the right direction. You know, just in case the big pulsating, flashing arrow in front of you wasn't a good enough indication. Now, one last thing that Isun's explaining to us before we get into the village. These 3 boxes right here, these are item quick slots. Basically, if you want to use an item on the fly, all you have to do is touch it in one of these boxes, as opposed to the last game where you had to open the menu, go to the item page, select the item, use the item, and then close out. No, this time around, all you have to do is record the shortcut. Let's do it for our ink too. And anytime we want to use them, all we have to do is just hit the button. That easy. Easy as pie. Or maybe rice cakes. Easy as... I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Doesn't look like there are any evil spirits hanging around here. Or are there? No, not yet. Not yet. Go down a little bit, and we'll meet another familiar face from the last game. This is Mr. Orange, the village leader. Don't let this guy's age fool you. When he drinks, he breaks out into some crazy dance, as anybody who played the last game will attest to. Unfortunately, you'll have to play the original title if you want to see this guy dance. He's kind of hung up his boogie shoes for this sequel right here. I guess regular folks can't see your special Okay, we've said this twice now. Come on, guys, I got the hint the first time. I'm not stupid, okay? I mean, I don't know about the rest of the fan base. No, nothing against the fan base. Even though it's full of weeaboos, I don't think they're stupid. Now, this is kind of cool right here. Talk to this woman. If you happen to get hurt during that last fight, she'll actually give you food. Now, there are other things to do in the village for now, but I'm kind of creeping up on the 15-minute mark here, so I'm going to cut this off. So next time on Let's Play Okamiden, we're going to go into the village and hopefully meet Miss Sakuya now that all the boring explanations are over. So, I will see you guys then.